thought it'd be good to go over what is showing up on the models because it's interesting and it really will have some implications to us for sure. Today it looks like we're going to get some light rain. It does not look like that much. At one time the models were a little more robust. And honestly, the global models seem that way a little bit, but I think it's going to keep it just towards south. So light rain for sure. The air show kicks off in about an hour from when I'm recording this. So you want to get out there soon if you want to see it. They're kicking off early to try to beat the rain this afternoon. All right, so as we go through, yep, we do see that rain come in. This is the global model is a little more robust with the amounts of rain. I think maybe quarter or half an inch is the most we'll see today. Then we're going to watch the formation of Imelda here. We already have Umberto out here, and it's a very strong storm and will become a Category 4 monster as it goes through. And what's going to happen here is this high to the north is going to be strengthened and the gradient here over top of us. So what it's doing is going to stop this high to the north, this blocking pattern, this additional high here, is going to be strong enough to stall this hurricane or tropical storm, they think, right off the coast and then potentially redirect it out. And boy, would that be good. Now, what you are going to see is this high pressure is very strong. One, it's going to bring in much cooler air. Two, the gradient's going to be really strong. So despite the fact that direct impacts aren't going to come, you're going to have a lot of coastal erosion here. But this is a much better look today than the models were showing yesterday on the forecast. And ultimately, that storm gets shoved out by the GFS model, and we just get reinforcing cool air right through and into the early part of the weekend. That is really, really strong. But eventually here, the high moves off. Winds turn out to the southwest, and we start to warm up. So this does not look like a super wet pattern. Honestly, it was looking very wet for a bit, and that has totally changed in the last 24 hours based on how strong this high pressure is to the north. What I do see here, though, if you look to the north, just to give you a different view of things, this is Arctic air moving into the United States. Obviously, it's not as cold as it will be later in the season, but that cold air is going to bring snow into the high plains for the first snows of the year. And this Arctic air is going to try to ultimately infiltrate our area later next week. Now, it won't be Arctic by the time it gets here. It'll be modified, and it won't truly push that far south. So we're going to start off. Looks like we're going to go through a roller coaster. We'll see if this even comes true because this is so far off. But right now, it looks like it's going to be cool this week, especially late. Warm up next week, and then potentially cool the following week. We'll have to see if that all comes about. But what you're not seeing in our area is a lot of rain, and that's problematic. Until way late in the period, but again, it's so far off, I wouldn't necessarily trust these forecast models. Just to give you an idea how much difference there is, here's the European model. This is just this morning's model, so it won't go so far off into the future. But I will show you that. So again, rain today. The Europeans have always been a little more robust with how much rain it brings today. And here we go with the tropical storm / hurricane. Now, it's bringing in a lot more moisture inland on this model, but still, this side of the north is blocked us. We're going to stay dry. So whatever we get over the next 24 hours from the storm is probably what we'll get. Now, what's different about the storm on the European that we're going to have to watch is it does kind of leave it behind. The high kind of blocks it and just leaves it, and it just parks out here. So prolonged easterly flow is not good for the Carolinas. And is this going to be true? I don't know. Also, the storm gets a little bit stronger there briefly and then a little bit cooler. And then it retrogrades. I don't know if this is true. It was interesting, too, on the later models last night. Again, moisture today. This is last night's run. I showed you the morning run. And you see a lot more moisture trying to head this way. Storm, though, does get redirected. And then it goes out to sea on this version. So it was this morning where it showed get stuck behind and left behind. So we'll have to see. Now, here is the long range on this model, and it does show that cold air trying to get into the region, late in the period. So I'll have to see if that comes true. I think people also looked at the AIFS. We won't go through that one, but that's the AI model. And it was a little more ominous because it left the low behind. When the high moved out, it went around the backside, and we ended up getting rain out of it. But I don't think that's going to be the case. All right, really quickly, look at the forecast for the precipitation. expected. We'll go first to the 24-hour period, and then we'll go to the week. So you can see us here. So this is a 24-hour. This is where we get most of the rain. Like I said, quarter to half an inch looks possible. And then all through the week, just expecting a little bit more showers on top of that. Only maybe a quarter of an inch, or maybe 2/10 of an inch. Not a lot more from this system. It's more and more looking south, so I'm not be surprised if this even gets drier on more weather updates. So long and short of it is, get out today early. Rain, the air show will be going on. Like I said, around 12:15, they're going to kick off the air part. And then as we go into next week, we'll be watching. It will get breezy and chilly towards the end of part of next week, so we'll really feel fall-like. But I don't think it's going to be wet, which is kind of a change. And we really do need the rain still. We did get some drought relief, don't get me wrong, but it's still not enough to alleviate all the conditions. We'll look for a warm-up and then potential serious cool-down, but we are getting into fall, so cooler intrusions will become more and more common, but not cold. We'll see. All right, have an awesome day.